Texas A&M's Marcel Reed is as intriguing a quarterback as there is for the 2026 season. Up and down, but electric. My name is Brian Smith, longtime college football recruiting analyst. Thank you for making the Portal Podcast your first listen each and every day, right here on the nation's #1 sports podcasting network, Locked On. Marcel Reed is the topic today as we're going to break down his game and what's next for the Texas A&M Aggies. They've got a difficult schedule. Can he play better in the big games? Let's break it down. And let's start off with the one concern with Reed that I really have that will permeate this podcast. If he gets past this, Texas A&M is a threat to make a deep run in 2026. It's the middle of the field. It's zone defense. It's reading the safeties and the linebackers. He only threw 63 passes to the middle of the field. 5 of them were picked. So 1 out of every 12.6 passes to the middle went the other direction. That is very concerning. Now, it's not the only thing, but this is a glaring weakness. Teams at the end of the year gave Reed fits. Now, it's not just one team here. There were multiple. And to put it into perspective, it's not just SEC. It's anybody that puts zone coverage, plays cloud, shifts the defense. They find ways to cause him problems. And to that end, there's no way around it. Here are the stats that prove what I'm talking about. And for those of you that follow college football closely, you probably noticed this anyway, but here goes. Looking at the beginning of the season, they tore up Notre Dame, who tried to play man defense against them. Bad idea. LSU still got a lot of talent. Reed had his way with them, a lot of man defense. But when they went down the stretch, you saw teams look at it a little bit differently. They tried to slow them down. Missouri, the first half against South Carolina, even Samford had a little bit of success against him. He only completed 54.1% of his passes. And then Texas and Miami, he didn't have a touchdown pass against those schools. Zone coverage, zone coverage, zone coverage. He struggles with it. To that end, you also have to remember this is a long-standing situation. Every young quarterback's going to have his moments, if you will, with zone coverage, and it's not always going to be easy. But now he's played for 2 years. It's time to take that step forward. Will it be the barometer that he's always judged by? Because if he gets past that, Marcel Reed can win the Heisman. He's athletic. He makes plays with his feet. He extends plays to throw and run. And he is somebody that's going to be playing with a lot of playmakers. The Aggies have plenty of talent at receiver, and I know they lost some talent as well, Moss, etc. They will not be void of skill talent. They will not be void of offensive linemen. They're going to score. But when they play those teams that are very difficult, it's going to be a little bit more challenging. And I'm not sure that many people realize just how difficult it can be. So let's also look at their schedule this year to put it in perspective, because not everybody is going to understand what it's really like until you put it into perspective at the end. First half of the schedule for the Aggies, it's somewhat manageable, but the back end of the schedule is not one that is going to be very easy. And I expect to see a lot of different people go be like, oh, yeah, he better figure this out, because otherwise the Aggies could be in a little bit of trouble here. All right, kind of looking at it right out of the gate, Missouri State, no big deal. But second week, they're going to go play Arizona State. It's at Kyle Field, but that's not an easy game. Like a lot of teams are going to be playing a pretty easy slate that week, not the Aggies. Kentucky comes to town. They should win. But then right after that, they go to LSU. The Tigers are going to remember that game last year. Arkansas comes to Kyle Field, like that should be a stomping. They got to go to Missouri. I'm not sure how that's going to go. Missouri will be one of the better teams in that mid-level of the SEC in terms of talent. They did lose Damon Wilson, who transferred to Miami. But overall, I think Missouri's a formidable foe. They play the Citadel, and then they've got Bama in an off week. If they could somehow go through the first part of the slate undefeated, it wouldn't shock me. But playing at Bama is not easy, obviously. Then you get that bye, and then here it comes. Down the stretch, your easiest game is the one after the bye week. You play the South Carolina Gamecocks in Williams-Brice Stadium in Columbia. Then, here we go. Tennessee at Kyle Field, at Oklahoma, and then Texas. There may not be a 3-game more difficult stretch than what the Aggies have to conclude the 2026 season. Again, the Tennessee Volunteers come to Kyle, then it is at Oklahoma, and then Kyle Field for the finale against the hated Texas Longhorns. So based on the film, that we're going to see a lot of different guys come up with different ways to scheme against Marcel. He's not going to see man coverage very much this next year. Even teams that prefer man, like LSU, I bet they mix in a little bit more. They're going to make him read post-snap. If he does that, again, there's no reason to think they won't be dominant. To that end, here are some stats on Reid for this past year. This is just the baseline for what he had. 234 of 380, 61.6%, 3,156 yards, 8.3 yards per attempt, 25 scores, and 7 touchdowns. The biggest thing about his stats, though, that drove me nuts, if you look at his interceptions, he had 7 picks in his last 4 games. Teams, once they really started going zone, he struggled. That's why I keep bringing it up. If he could just improve 10%, though, they might have won it last year. They might win it this year. Does he take those steps forward? Here are a couple of the other questions that I have about Reid as well. And he's a great athlete, but he's pretty spindly. Are they going to get all these done? Let's look at him here. Does Reid handle the zone? We talked about that. How about his accuracy? Is that going to work out? Does he gain any size and strength? Will he run more in 2025? And finally, performing in big games. Those are the ones that I want to talk about. When we come back after the break, I'm going to answer some of those, and I want your opinions too. Answer on YouTube. What do you think about Marcel Reid in 2026? Will he be the same guy, or will he be somebody else? Let's talk about that next after the break. Today's show is brought to you by our friends over at 5 Hour Energy. Welcome to the 5 Hour Energy Flavor Draft. We're looking at every aspect of the draft to let you know which tasty flavors are the best and which just might be sleepers. The board's set, the flavors are ready, and the only one that is going to win is the one that you pick. Is it going to be a sleeper? Is it going to be the favorite? That is up to you. 5 Hour Energy has a wide variety of flavors. It's got something for everyone. I'm a traditional guy. I like cherry, strawberry, grape, things like that. But one that they have that you don't always see in different flavors is blue raspberry. I love blue raspberry as a flavor. They also have pomegranate. That is my sleeper pick. It's a deep, slightly tart pomegranate flavor. Blue raspberry, I love the sweet, tangy flavor of it. It's probably my favorite. But there are others too. They've got strawberry watermelon, tropical burst, peach mango. They've got a little bit of everything at 5 Hour Energy. So to make it work for you, find your new favorite flavor of 5 Hour Energy, available online at 5hourenergy.com or over at Amazon. We are also brought to you by our friends over at FanDuel. Ever wanted to experience the NBA Finals live and in person? FanDuel is giving you that chance to turn that dream into reality with their NBA sweepstakes. Here's how it works. Use your profit boost on any NBA future, and you'll automatically be entered for a shot to win an NBA Finals trip for 2. That's right. Flights, tickets, the whole experience. If you're already at that board thinking about which team can make a deep run, this is the perfect time to lock in that pick. Visit FanDuel.com to get started. Use your profit boost on any NBA future and get entered for a chance to win a trip to the NBA Finals. Play your game with FanDuel, the official sports betting partner of the NBA. Make sure you take your game to the next level with the Everydayer Club. Down in the description below is more information, but here's the number one factor for it. $5 a month or $50 for the year. Your audio feed for Locked On the Portal would have no ads. It's up to you and how you want to do it, but I'm an audio guy. Check out the Everydayer Club. Now let's talk about some of those questions again. I'm going to put them back up here on the board, and you can do whatever you want with this in terms of the order. I didn't put these in order for any specific reason, but does he handle the zone coverage better? I think it's inevitable. They're going to work with him. He's going to improve there. His accuracy, a little over 60%, but I think his confidence in reading zone should help him be more accurate. And then number 3, this is one that I think is important. If you look at the photo, like if you're watching this on YouTube, he's not the biggest dude. If he could add 15 pounds, it would do him a lot of good. And number 4, will he run more in 25? I think that's completely about number 3. Does he put on the size? Does he feel comfortable taking a few more shots? And I'm not asking him to be a wishbone quarterback here. I'm just saying he should be a guy that runs the football just a little bit more and has the ability to take more abuse. He is a very good athlete and makes guys miss in space. So just having more strength, more explosiveness, that's never going to hurt. Finally, performing in big games. I want to answer this one straight away. Marcel Reed has the ability to win the Heisman from a physicality standpoint. But it's going to be between the ears that makes a difference. Sometimes the most important play has nothing to do with passing. It's the guts to say, you know what, here's a pass play that came into the huddle. But what they're showing me a cover 2 shell, and I've got a really good run game. I'm just going to hand it off here. Those little things he's probably done anyway. But now it's not just run. You got to know exactly where it needs to be run. Taking that small step can be a very large reason you win a football game. Is it outside zone right? Is there a special play? Is it time to run the reverse? Maybe you do still pass the football, but you change what that pass is. Something subtle, get your best player one-on-one with the linebacker. It's the capabilities that are right there before him with the playbook. He has all the help in the world. A&M's got more money than they know what to do with. All the analysts, they can help him. It's up to Marcel Reed. Will he be that guy in 2026 that helps the Aggies take a step forward? I think he can be, but we're going to see because this offseason is going to dictate it. Let's see how Marcel Reed and the Aggies do. Thank you once again for checking out the Portal Podcast and making it your first listen each and every day right here on the nation's #1 sports podcasting network, Locked On. We're going to do a whole bunch of these, SEC, Big 10, ACC, Big 12, go all the way through spring ball and have fun with it. College football starts with the quarterback position, just like the NFL. And I want to go through the major programs and just have a blast. Enjoy these. We're going to be seeing these every day. Let's talk again soon here on the Portal Podcast.